What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the update of the mutant Nick Walker. So this is 7 weeks out of his next show, or roughly 7 weeks out, which is gonna be the New York Pro. So it is so ironic that Nick Walker was called a fridge at the beginning of his professional career, but he is so relentless in his pursuit of becoming Mr. Olympia. He got bigger and bigger every year and every year, but surprisingly his shape has improved. His shape has gone better every year. And this is something we do not see very often, especially when guys try to get too big too fast. Their midsection is something that blows out first. Their waistline is the first thing to go. But surprisingly, Nick Walker has been able to hold on to his waistline while he got bigger. Now, I'm not saying that Nick Walker have a small waist. He doesn't. He doesn't have the smallest waist by any means, especially on that Olympia stage. But I think he has some of the most well-developed abs. And not just in the men's open bodybuilding, across any division for that matter. And the way he represents himself, the way he presents his physique, the way he hides his flaws, and the way he pronounces his strong points, that is really next level. So if we talk about the best abs in men's open bodybuilding, we all know Hadi Choopan is number one when it comes to having the most separated and well-defined abs. Andrew Yates is a very close second. And Nick Walker also makes that list of top 5 people. At least in the current circuit of bodybuilding, Nick Walker definitely makes that list of top 5 people who have the best abs out there. And the reason for that is Nick Walker, when he was young, he used to train abs every single day, and he is still very conscious about how his midsection looks on the stage. So back at the Olympia 2022, which was his last Olympia show, he was crunching down on his abs while doing the front double biceps and then opening up. That was really ethereal. So we are now less than 7 weeks out of this year's New York Pro. And Nick Walker is 100% focused, and he should be. This is gonna be the first time Nick Walker is gonna grace the bodybuilding stage since the Arnold Classic Ohio 2023. Yes, that was the last show that he did. A show that he lost to Samson Dauda. So he will be eager to make a very strong statement here, that he is back, and he is coming for that Mr. Olympia title. So how excited are you about Nick Walker's return? Do let me know in the comments below. Since we are talking about the New York Pro, let's talk about Stuart Sutherland, aka Beef Stu, who also put out an update about 7 weeks out of the show, hitting that side triceps in the style of the great Dorian Yates. So it is gonna be really interesting how much bigger he's gonna be this time compared to last year. Because if we look back at the New York Pro from last year, Stuart got second place behind Tonio Burton, who was the winner of the New York Pro. And Stu had overall more width and arguably more size than Tonio Burton. But Tonio just had way too better of a flow. He was way too aesthetic and way more beautiful. And that is why the judges gave him the nod. Not to mention his conditioning was top notch. So at 7 weeks out of the show, Stu certainly looks on target in terms of conditioning. He's gonna push for a lot more in the upcoming weeks. As we all know, Nick Walker is a conditioning freak. And none of these guys will wanna get smoked by him in that department. Because Nick has an enormous size difference. He is bigger than all of these guys and by quite some margin. So conditioning is the only play that all of these guys have. Except for Tonio Burton, who has also shape going in his favor. So Stu held his own really well against a big guy like Sergio Oliva Jr. last year. That was at California Pro. And there is an additional 1 year of work put into that current physique. So I'm sure he is gonna be a lot better than last year. So the question is, will Stu be able to qualify for the Olympia this year by winning some other show later during the year? Do let me know what you guys think. Next up, we have an update from Behrouz about 11 weeks out of his first show of the year. That is gonna be the Emperor Classic Spain. So Spain and Italy are scheduled just 1 week apart, and Behrouz is doing both these shows, so he might win both of these shows, denying somebody the Olympia qualification. So for 11 weeks out, he looks to be in a superb spot. He has those crazy Iranian genetics. I mean, he stays incredibly lean even during the off-season. He is just a little short in height than Samson Dauda. So he is also one of those tall guys who have incredible builds. And Milos, his coach, and him are trying to build up more quads because his upper body has always been sensational. And I don't think anyone is gonna have an argument about this statement, that he is one of the most shredded guy in the men's open bodybuilding right now. Even though he was in a much better condition than Samson Dauda in Romania. But Samson Dauda just had way too much size on him. And that is why he won with perfect scores, even though that was a very close show in many people's eyes. So since Romania Pro last year, Behrouz has been in the off-season, and he has had a great and very productive off-season since then. And he still has some time left to push. because the kind of conditioning that he is in right now, I don't think it's gonna take him a lot of time to get shredded inside out. So considering that he had a very good offseason, we are expecting a much more bigger and more balanced package the next time he steps on stage, which is gonna be at Emperor Classic Spain. And the main competition for him there is gonna be Michael Crizo and Andrea Presley. So Behrouz has been qualifying for the Olympia for the past 2 years in a row. But unfortunately, because of the visa issues, he was unable to get to the US, so he missed out both times. So I think maybe his team needs to contact Hani Rambod and ask why Hadi Choopan was able to get it back in 2019. If you guys remember, Hadi Choopan also did not get the visa for the first 2 years, and he had to sit out. The usual morning check-ins from the reigning Arnold Classic Ohio and UK Classic Physique champion Wesley Vissers continue as usual. One of the main reasons why some of these guys are able to improve so much from one season to the next is that they stay so regimented, not only just during the full off season when they are back on full gear, but even during the health and the recovery phase. They stay so regimented in terms of their diet, in terms of their training, and that phase lasts for roughly 8 weeks. So Wesley's amazing journey to the top is so inspirational for every classic physique competitor out there. A guy who wasn't even cracking top 10 at the first 2 Mr. Olympias. He will now enter this year's Mr. Olympia as a legitimate Mr. Olympia title contender. And that has to be so motivating for all these guys out there. So winning 2 back-to-back shows, and that to the Arnold Classics, that made it pretty clear for all the competitors that the judges definitely like his look. Especially taking into consideration that all of these guys, Urs, Brian Ansley and Michael the Bull, they were improved from Ohio to UK, especially Urs and Michael the Bull. But Wesley still came out on top, and by quite some margin. So we have some great storylines going into this year's Classic Physique Mr. Olympia. We have Ramondino coming back after losing the Arnold Classic title to Wesley Vissers, and he would want to redeem himself. We have Wesley Vissers coming in for the very first time as a Mr. Olympia title contender. And he would sure want to prove it to the bodybuilding world that he is the next in line to win that Mr. Olympia title. Urs Kleschinski, on the other hand, looking for revenge after placing behind Brian Ansley at the Arnold UK. And the king of classic physique, Chris Bumstead, going for number 6 and becoming a dad. So that is gonna be a new challenge for him. But Wesley Vissers is the one who has a point to prove that he is the next in line to become classic physique Mr. Olympia. So we haven't seen any physique updates from Nathan in a while, but he has been training very hard for quite a few months now. It was an ideal start for Nathan in 2023, when he won the Flex Pro Italy, and honestly he should have won in Spain as well, but still he got additional 2 pro wins before Mr. Olympia. But his 2023 season did not end quite well, or at least not as well as he would have hoped for. Not only he lost to Behrouz Tabani, but he placed behind Horsemdi and Rubil Mosquera as well. So with Nathan's situation regarding his visa, I'm not sure we will ever be able to see him compete at the biggest bodybuilding stage again, because it has been 5 years already since the last time he competed. And out of those 5 times, he was qualified 4 times. Even Nathan's own goals have changed. He wants to have 20 professional wins before he retires. And if I'm not mistaken, he has 11 already, which makes him the most winning active IFBB men's open pro right now. So what's next for Nathan? I'm guessing Dubai Pro because of the prize money and a chance to beat guys like Rubil Mosquera, Behrouz Tabani, guys who were able to beat him last year. And also get a chance to stand next to guys like Andrew Jack, Brendan Carey, and Regan Grimes as well. So I think the best Nathan that we saw last year was at his first show. That was in Italy. He was dry as a bone and hard as nails. So it is gonna be really exciting to see him at his best whenever he competes next and go up against some of the best guys of current times. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.